All right, so lastly, I want to talk about line count. I want to talk about just the data that was gathered the first week. Still, um, a lot of appreciation. Shout out to Tristan and Song and their whole team for accumulating this. This is the line count for the updated, right? They've had this spreadsheet for a long time. They're just updating it now. And there's two spreadsheets I want to share. One, this is in this column I, the hit counts for 2 minutes. Pretty insane. I want to talk about it. And then this last one is this 3 minute line count, which is what we used to base our lines off of. And it seems like either way, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, the lines are, or the meta or the lines and the differences is pretty similar, right? Which is as impressive as it gets, right? But so I wanted to talk about 2 minutes first because this is new, right? All cooldowns got changed from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. So this is probably, what some say is the most balanced, depends on what you look at it, but everyone gets their cooldowns back up after 2 minutes. So sometimes these 3 minute runs get skewed with those classes that have greater burst, right? But I think all classes have pretty good burst now. So it doesn't really share too much. You'll see in the line. So the things that stood out, right? And you can look through this as I'm talking about it, is like this is straight up how consistent this is, right? Similar. Warriors. No one's 13, 4 versus 14, 4. That's nothing, right? Mages, same boat. 14,000, 13,000 versus not even 15,000, right? Mercedes got a lot. There is the orange disclaimer here. Clones and ADI class have inflated lines. That don't look like an inflated line for Paladins, that's for sure. But they're going to update that later based on the numbers. But Mercedes have a ton of small lines that hard cap. So 15.7 is not as much as you think. Probably more to the mean. Shadowers, same, right? Dual blades, all these classes with a ton of lines. I mentioned it earlier. Nightwalkers are upset that they lost a clone. Their line count is insane, and in 2 minutes and in 3 minutes, but they're hard capped as well. So it's misleading, and whether that's good or bad, it's hard to tell. Something it's good, something it's fine, something it's bad. It's a rebalance, right? It's just got to do with what we do. No point in getting upset about it. Cannoneers, the shocker, right? I talked about it. They have the most lines in 2 minutes and in 3 minutes. I need to see some Cannoneer content, please. So if there's anyone that mains a Cannoneer, I know there may be some in Gnosis and in Geminis server. So I'd love to see them. If they post content, please forward it to me because I want to know what it's about. So I want to see the damage. And then, but yeah, you can see the lowest right now is Ho Young, 12,000. I feel like that could be higher, but there's just maybe not enough Ho Young mains. But it's funny because Ho Young in this is not even on the scale. Not even on here. So expect a buff next rebalance, probably, and no one's going to get affected, or maybe just alts. But yeah, kind of crazy to see the numbers, right? So what do the numbers mean, right? I think people look at this 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they're like, my class needs a buff, right? Why do these classes have such high lines, things like that? Everyone's going to complain or have an input. And here's my take and what I've seen from the numbers, the lines, and the actual scores, the DPS, is that line count is not what it used to be, right? They hard capped it. They hard capped clones. That matters, right? That matters. They changed ignore enemy defense, like I talked about previously, 15% across the board for V skills. That matters, right? That's more cap. And obviously stats matter. Cap matters more than ever. The gap between me and a full 60 and me and a full 50 necro, the gap is enormous. So gear matters, right? But if everything is fair, we'll take gear aside for a second. I just assume the baseline is everyone has the same cap, and everyone has max V skills, because that has to be the baseline. Your line count is not going to be this without max V skills. Your damage is not going to be that, right? That's the baseline I'm assuming this at. Where does line counts, then does line counts matter? A little bit. But think about this, right? 15,000 lines, 14,000 lines. And in this video, in this shot, this is 20 to 25,000, right? I guess Cannoneers, you could say it's 28 or something ridiculous. But for the most part, everyone's within 10%, 15% lines, right? We can all agree to that. It's insane who's the top DPS right now. Who is, can you guess? Probably think it's a thief, right? Could be a Cannoneer. Warrior? Archer? And this is talking about Culvert. And in DPS, I've seen some good DPS, but Culvert is sort of the consistent gauge of damage right now, right? Damien, Lucid, they all have RNG factors, things like that, team comps, a lot of factors, time of run. Culvert is 3 minutes, consistent. Which class? It's a mage. I'll give you a hint. It's a mage. If you didn't know, you're never going to guess it. It's the one with the least amount of lines in this 2-minute time frame. Ice Lightning Mage. Truffle Locks. Okay? That's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Ice Lightning Mage. The worst mage still, as far as lines. Bottom 10 in lines after 3 minutes. How is it possible that it is doing 49,000 in Culvert with 44, I think, 45 mil cap? Truffle Lock X. How is that possible, right? Beats me. Beats me. But there are some theories out there, right? The nature of their class is very unique, where they have a lot of short burst cooldowns, 30 seconds. They get their burst up. V skills that are 30 seconds. That's their biggest burst, where it lines up with Defense Match 4, like I talked about, for the increased cap. And it just, you get it so frequently. And it's 15% ignore my defense. So just the amount of damage that lines that it produces just has higher value, right? Because it's capping higher. It's doing more per line. So 14,000 lines, sub 14,000 lines gets made up for with higher, hitting harder, hitting higher, capping all of them, right? They're not 15,000 lines with maybe 2,000 that are hitting 15, 35% of their cap, right? They're full 14,000 lines. Every line is a cap line. And if that cap is higher because of ignoring enemy defense, because of it being a V skill, and they get to use it and pair with Defense Match 4 and get it off of cooldowns pretty much every single time, that matters. That has value. That makes a difference. And it's just fascinating to see that even at the highest level, even at the middle tier level, right? It's not just about lines anymore. It's about ignoring enemy defense, arguably the most important stat in the game, because you just can't get it otherwhere in many places, right? And then of course how you do your skills, how your rotation, things like that plays into effect. But it's just fascinating, right? It's weekend, it's early, but trust me, all the biggest, baddest whales, all of these strongest players of the strongest classes have tested Culvert. They had to, right? They tried to BR, they know the strategy, they know the rotations, they have all their max cap, they have all their V skills maxed. Ice Lightning Mage. Huh? Right? Pretty crazy to think. And I've never seen anyone close yet. Maybe within the next few weeks, someone will figure it out. Maybe their rotation changes. Maybe they try different strategies, but there's no Defense Match 4, Defense Match 3 swapping anymore. It's just straight up. Everyone's even playing field. There's no secret tips. There's no anything like that. There's no mechanics to avoid. You just stand, Do your rotation, do your DPS. And now covert obviously is one of those things that isn't always going to translate to real bossing. But I would argue that Isolating Mage can translate pretty well. Lucid, they're going to get their big cooldowns up every single time. They're not going to get interrupted by, they don't have duration-based skills that are going to get affected if they are stuck in minigame or in hard Damien when you have to fly up, right? It's just fascinating. Fascinating stuff. And the point of it is the game is rebalanced. The game is balanced. You can't, even if your class got us rebalanced for the bad, right? Loomies aren't SS tier anymore. Evans aren't SS tier anymore. Loomies are still up there, number 4 in lines. Still pretty insane. Evans, up there, still pretty insane. Paladins, look who's bottom 4. Paladins. You think they're not insane? Still insane. Night Lords, bottom half. Guess what? Everyone is saying Night Lords are insane, and I agree. They are back on top doing insane damage. So, breathe. Look at this. I want you guys just to understand, take it with a grain of salt. Right? Lines, these are just numbers now. There's more to it. There's more to it. There's more ways to, like, doing a perfect rotation in real bossing is just not realistic. So there's caveats to it, right? Nightwalkers can get knocked back and screw up their V4. Right? Bishops, same way. Shadowers, I think if the boss moves, they lose damage. Dual blades, they mess up their V1. There's mechanics to it, right? All goes back to gear, yes. Class, yes. But if you don't have the mechanics, if you don't got your phantoms to save you, you don't got your bishops to save you, if you're sitting in res time, if you're dying, if you don't got iframes, your own toolkit, right? If you don't have, all that support, you can't maximize your damage, it doesn't matter, right? So everything is in play, balanced. There's no excuse. Like, if you're not doing damage, if you're not being competitive, it's not your class. If someone with the same gear or similar gear is beating you, maybe it's a skill issue. Maybe, right? Skill issue is more apparent than it ever has before. That's just what it is, right? There's no hiding around it. There's no one there to save you. If you die, you may be sitting in res timer a little bit longer than you used to. So, and I think that's great. Right? Like, now there's no real other excuse. This is awesome to see. I can't wait. This is first week. I just can't wait to see more content, more people doing more damage, more people talking about it. Maybe there's some bugs that are going to get fixed. Maybe there's strategies that people figure out. I'm still testing, tinkering. Paladins, Demon Slayer, I'm still learning. Right? There's still ways to get better. I showcased my previous Demon Slayer runs. Can do better. Everyone can do better. Can't wait to see all these numbers get updated, all these things changed. I appreciate these guys, Tristan, Song, and their team for doing this. Can't thank them enough. This is amazing stuff. And all the people that post their content, can't wait it. Everyone has to be excited. Just be excited. New PRs. Doesn't matter if you're 2 extra damage or 1.5 extra damage or 2.5 extra damage. Come on now. The numbers are just astronomical. The DPS is insane. The cap is insane. Enjoy it. Because this may never, ever, ever, ever happen again. So, I'll be right back. We're going to finish with a showcase of this class that I thought was dead. There's still one out there, and he's cranking. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and we got a Demon Avenger. So this is a person that I just showed up on my recommended. It's pretty sick, I'm not going to lie. And looks like this is their page. Looks like they were Bishop before. And so maybe they're going to post more Demon Avenger content. But sneaky, this is a big time showcase right here. We're going to see it. Demon Avenger. Look at it. The CP, 2 billion, sorry. And the cap is just going to be insane. This has to be like 60 plus mil cap, right? So 60 mil plus cap easily, it's probably 65 or max 66, 67, but Thank you for showing your damage. This is overall damage, right? So this is with ads and things like that, but nothing significantly inflated because of ad damage, because they just absolutely demolish this. Yeah. 30 seconds. 360 bill and 30 seconds overall damage, whatever. That is just, can't even comprehend. Demon Avenger. Demon Avenger. I was shook. I was absolutely shook and excited for this. Stun there. Just rip it. Full DPS. Just cranking. Not holding aggro for some reason. Pretty interesting. But maybe they just don't have big burst. That second person is catching up a little bit. But it's still crazy to see, right? The HP is insane as well. Don't really know too much about it. I heard their their V4 when I read into it was interesting. They missed the minigame there. So I wonder if that benefited them or not. But I mean, the DPS is just insane. That burst. They must have some sort of burst, right? $64 bill. Is that split? What is that? Yeah, look at that. Jeez, 64 bill with the defense match force. 71 bill now. 71 mil. My gosh. Yeah, there must be a shade in there for split. Just absolutely. So let's see. I have to go back to that. I'm sorry. It just went from 470, right? 2 minute mark. Cooldowns are back up. This one went from 475 to jeez. 475 to 733 in 20 seconds. What is going on? In 20 seconds, almost 300, another 300 bill. What is happening? I mean, but that is just cap with good gameplay, with bursts. Just the numbers are just insane, right? I mean, just crushing. Stun right here. The damage reduction is not affecting him at all. Three minutes. Over 800 billion damage. What just happened? Dragon's gonna come. They're gonna finish it down right here. And then just burst through in phase one. Yikes. Yikes. That second place is catching up though. My goodness. 959. I don't think he shows his DPS at the end. But yeah, DB. Yeah, DB at the end. DBs are insane. But wow. Wow. Yeah, we can do the math. I think I did it like 270 something. Yeah. Just insane. Just insane. I hope this person posts more content. I hope there's more Demon Avengers out there, however many left. See this. This is epic. Iconic. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. The numbers are just astronomical. And beat a Dual Blade. The Dual Blade is guarantee has to have a lot of stats too in cap. So the fact that it beat the Dual Blade by that much, and it had the better burst in the Dual Blade, right? No, the Dual Blade went insane. Yeah, at the start. Yikes. But look, it catches up so fast. And no mobs are here. There's no mobs there. And there's the mobs. So before the mobs, crushed. Crushed before the mobs even spawn. Crushed to inflate the damage. That's pretty insane. Pretty insane. Holy moly. Demon Avengers. Back and better than ever. Can't wait to see more content. Please share with me. Comment below. Share with me any class you play, whatever it is. I need to see more content. I need to see these classes showing up, showing out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.